All right, all right. We're here. We're here. My apologies for the late start today. Whew. All right. We're good. We're here. Hold on. Got my iced latte. Okay. Well, welcome back to the channel, everyone. My apologies for being late today. It's late start today. I slept in. I don't normally sleep in. My fault. My fault. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. I haven't even really looked at the charts here. Peaked quick at market open, which was right here. Little area of imbalance left behind there. So it looks like if we go over to the 15-minute chart here, that previous sessions today gave back everything that we gained after we lost. So it's like we're trading in another range again. The We did the live yesterday for the FOMC conference, right? The meeting that Mr. Powell comes out and speaks and answers all the questions. And the overall sentiment of that entire thing was pretty bullish. I mean, immediately after um, the conference ended, there were posts and videos and news articles, claiming recession over because he sounded pretty bullish yesterday, pretty dovish. Um, and I completely agree, honestly, with his overall mentality of we need to wait and see. Okay, instead of just jumping all over this, fear, blah blah blah, tariffs, this that, the economy is going to crash and the country's going to go to what? Okay, let's just wait and see. And that's the approach the Fed is taking right now. And to be honest with you, and I can't even believe that I'm going to say this because I'm not one for huge government, but I think they're right. I think that they're right. Let's wait and see and let this all play out before we start making rash decisions that will ultimately end up very bad, which is what the government is pretty well known for. So while all of this is being done and these new policies are coming out and the tariffs are getting settled and whatever, whether they're going to be implemented, not implemented, paused, changed, this, that, and the other thing, let's take the approach of we're in a good place. The hard data is good. The soft data, which he mentioned yesterday, which is things like surveys and whatnot, are not good. But people's sentiments and their minds can be changed in an instant. So you you kind of have to really take the hard data um, and apply that more than the soft data, right? So I I like where we're at. I think Mr. Powell did a fantastic job yesterday, and I think that they're doing the right thing. I don't think that our interest rates should be as high as they are still. But that being said, I think the wait and see instead of just jumping all over this, fear mongering baloney, is the right approach. And I think a lot of people, the market liked it. The market just continued to climb higher and higher and higher yesterday throughout his entire speech. And, you know, I think it's a good thing, but we'll see. I think the other parts of the world missed, their opportunity to gain some of these gains here and, ended up plummeting. But now we're moving right back up to where we were before. So our job is to see if we can try to catch one of these moves, right? When I saw this morning, real quick, that's what I said. I said, okay, well, you know, um, all the other sessions obviously wanted to have a piece of these gains here. So, and there was probably a lot of profit taking also. But you can see here that we did this nice little double bottom here, and market opened, and we pushed right out of it, and we are just continuing to push up. And I really don't think there's any reason why we won't hit previous day highs here again today. But let's see. Let's wait for an opportunity. I marked out a little area of imbalance here right at market open. I'm not quite sure that we're going to see that play out. We might have a little teeny one here. If we come back and retest these, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so that's that. Everything's working. You guys can hear me. Cool. All right. Sweet. So that was fun yesterday. I hope if any of you watched the live stream yesterday of the FOMC, that you guys enjoyed. I didn't really say much, but I did have a little bit of commentary. The whole inflation thing, there were a few questions about, and there always are, people don't feel the people like you and I, right, that live outside of the world of, the government and whatever else. The hardworking, day to day people aren't feeling the economy getting better. Inflation has decreased significantly from its high a few years back, and there's always a journalist that's like, groceries are still expensive, and it's like, well, maybe you should do your research before you ask a stupid question like that, because that's not how inflation works. And I did, go on a little rant yesterday and try to explain how inflation works. And I think it's a big problem. And I think that if there was some education to explain exactly how all of that worked, um, and people actually understood that just because inflation is decreasing doesn't mean that prices are going to decrease. The soft data would actually be better than it is now. I think we have a huge education problem. And nobody understands exactly how inflation works. Inflation is the rate of change in prices. It's not directly one-to-one correlated with prices. So when you get an increase in inflation, yes, you get an increase in prices too, um, faster. That's the thing. The rate of change in those in the prices of products and services changes quickly, and so you feel that. When inflation comes back down, again, you're just changing the rate of change. So if you get inflation from 9% to 2%, your everyday prices are still going to increase by 2% over a year. That's what people don't understand. When you decrease inflation, you're not decreasing prices. Unfortunately, when prices increase, that's where they are. You might get a little bit of pullback in some things because people stop paying for it. And one of the biggest issues we've had over the last 2 years is people didn't stop buying stuff and services. So prices stayed where they are. Um, but you got to understand that inflation is a rate of change in prices. It's not directly correlated to the price itself. So when inflation comes down, you're not changing the prices also. You're not bringing the prices down also. The prices are going to be where they are. All right. And you just have to wait, unfortunately, until wages catch up to where it feels like you can afford things again. And we are kind of getting there, just wages are catching up a little bit slower. And our rate of change, inflation, is back down under 3%. But that just means that over a year's time, prices and services will increase by under 3% versus 9%. That's a huge, huge misconception that people need to understand, because I think if you understood that, then people would be a little bit more likely to say, oh, yeah, okay, I can see things are getting better. Yeah, you're not going to feel it in your pocket right away because you have to wait for wages to catch up. That's the thing. That's what people don't understand. And they don't teach people that. So it's not their fault, right? Once inflation goes up, your prices go up too. Your prices stay. Inflation comes down so that those prices don't change much once they hit their peak there. Okay, they're not going to come back down. Maybe a little bit in certain sectors, but they're not going to come back down. Okay. And when over time wages catch up to where those are, then people are like, oh, yeah, I can afford things again. But the prices haven't changed. That's the problem. Anyway, we need more education on the economy and finances in this country. It's a big, big part of the problem. All right. So we very, very bullish so far in the New York session, which makes sense. I mean, they want to catch up to where we were yesterday. Um, let's see if we can catch a little piece of this. I did well yesterday. I did end up taking a trade. I wasn't expecting to take a trade yesterday, um, but I did. And it was a very, very well executed trade. I waited for the opportunity to actually present itself. I waited for these areas that I'm marking off to actually be filled later on in the morning. And we took a beautiful trade yesterday. I only took a 1-to-1 just because it was FOMC day and who the hell knows what's going to happen. So I wanted to take my profits and walk with them, yesterday. Um, because that's something that I've also been struggling with too, where I get a little greedy and I'm looking for this and that, whatever. But if you put together what's happening throughout the day and whatnot, a 1-to-1 is totally, totally um, acceptable and should, if you can get it, take it. You can always get back in, right? Um, in hindsight, not in hindsight because I'm not upset at all that I took the 1-to-1. I'm glad that I took the 1-to-1. The accounts up, we're good. The market did end up running back to previous highs. So on any other day where we weren't waiting for something like FOMC, which could easily be a very big catalyst to move the market, I would have let that trade run right back up to previous highs, and it did. It was a beautiful, beautiful setup. I'm glad that I was able to see it. I'm glad that I was able to catch it on the live session. I'm glad that I took the trade without hesitation. I'm glad that I took the 1-to-1 profits again without hesitation. And it was a good day yesterday. It was a good day. So progress, making progress. That trade gets me out of my slump that I've been in for quite some time here. Um, so we're going to try to keep that going. All right. I'm usually a very early riser. I don't sleep. I usually wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, regardless of whether I have an alarm set or not. And for some reason today, I don't normally have an alarm set. I just get up, and for some reason today, I slept till 8:30. It was crazy. I didn't even know. Then I was all flustered because I was like, "Oh my goodness, I got all kinds of things to do, and I got to get on the live, this, that, and the other thing." So it's crazy morning, crazy morning. Trying to catch up here. I didn't get to read any news yet, but that's all right. We're here now. We're good to go. Market looks good. Let's see if we can catch a ride with one of these. I'm starting to slow down a little bit here. I think market's still bullish, so even if we come back into one of these areas here, I think we'd still take a long position. Let's just take a look at the bigger picture here. Uh, Okay. Our previous day lows and highs almost match our support and resistance here on the day chart. You can see. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Let's see if we have any imbalances left behind that I may have missed. This one here we've already used up. Uh, yeah, we have one here that we might be filling right now. Very, very nice bottoming tail here. I think we got room to move up, be honest with you. I think we for sure head back up to previous day highs, if not higher today. I can't say for sure. It's just my opinion. It's just the way, how I'm reading it. I'll say for sure. Uh, yeah, 1 hour looks good too. Got a little shelf here. Bottoming tails, nice push up, strong close. Let's see, we can mark this one out actually. Let's mark this area of imbalance out, which we are filling currently. Okay. Might change the picture a little bit. Take a look at our 15. Yeah, kind of aligns with that also. Interesting. Get a double bottom here. Hmm. So good. So we got our initial jobless claims this morning, a little less than expectation. Continuing jobless claims slightly more than expectation. That's been the theme for a long time. So we're everything here is pretty much the same. Um, what else? Existing home sales, nice bump on that. Um, existing home sales month over month. Huge bump on that from last month, actually. Last month was negative 4.7. This month, 4.2. Positive 4.2. It's a huge jump. That's a good thing. Let's see, we got some interest rate, some mortgage rates here. Oh, those are coming out in a little while. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right. Heat map looks slightly bullish. A little more gray and green than red, but a lot of gray also. So it's kind of all break even ish, but some of the big players are slightly green, slightly. So, is this going to be something that we need to short, or are we looking to use this as a inverse? Because I think that the market is still bullish, especially after yesterday. That is the question. Hmm. UBS. This is the headline article on Market Watch, where I like to get a lot of my stuff from. UBS says a reassuring Fed means it's time to sink your spare cash into the market. Yeah, be careful. I think right now is still a time to just chill. Just chill. Don't do anything rash. Don't put all your money somewhere. Just kind of chill. Cash would still be a um, good place. You can buy the dip on some things, maybe, but yeah, it's a little premature. Listen, I like where we're at. I like the way the Fed came out yesterday. I like the answers. I think the market is playing, good things here, but it doesn't. I don't think it. To just say like, "Oh, it's all over. It's time jump back in. Let's do it. All your cash. Let's go." I don't know about that. There's still a lot of catalysts out there that could change things tremendously, like the Ukrainian war. We still haven't gotten anywhere with that. That could change things in an instant. Okay, what do we got here? Beautiful. All right, we're using this as an inverse, looks like. Yeah, VVIX is coming way down. I love it. I love how things have settled down. And this is what I said. The FOMC meeting, and then once we got all that data and we had yesterday's meeting, providing everything was okay, which it was according to them. We'd get a direction. Here we are. Let's see if this sticks here. Would like some kind of a pullback here so we can get in at a much better place here or get some confirmation at least. Mhm. We're going to remain patient and wait for our trades. I didn't really miss anything here, honestly, because I mean, with my strategy, we didn't get anything that would allow me to get into. Well, maybe right there. That could have been one right there. Let me see here. Doop. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, that was probably a decent opportunity there. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, that would have been nice. Really nice tight stop too. Boom. That would have been a beautiful move. Wow, all kinds of bullish articles here. Here's one. Odds are good that the stock market has finally bottomed. Here's why. I mean, here's the real reason stocks rose after a do nothing meeting. Let's see. Yeah, I would like to read that one actually. Let's see what you got to say. This one here is by an ex New York Fed trader. Uh, Trump may be correct to again call for lower interest rates, says Joseph Wang. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't think we should be sitting as high as we are. I think we can bring them down a little bit more, maybe another 100 basis points. He can stay there. That may be a nice place to sit, but we're still way too high, I think. Mhm. Okay, I can't see the rest of that article. That sucks. No. Kind of looks like we're maintaining this area of imbalance here left from previous sessions today. See. Oh, can't even read the news anymore without having to pay. Ridiculous. Gotta go back to work today. Mm, think their Bulls are winning. All right, that's a nice push to the upside out of this area of imbalance here, left behind on the 15-minute chart in previous sessions today. Nice strong sign of continuation to the upside. Yeah, decent moves. Let's see how we look in the 15. Look at that. Nothing but up. And it's not even, we're not even slowing down here, really. Like these candles are still very um, long. They're closing strong. Yeah. Mm. This double bottom here, if you play that kind of strategy, this would have been a beautiful trade for you. Very nice. Mm, okay. So we got another area of imbalance here now. So long as this 15-minute closes outside of this area here, I'm going to take it out because it would be invalid at that point. Doesn't look like we're going to come back into that, honestly. But um, yeah, that's nice. Uh, let's see. Basically, so New York session just ate up everything that previous sessions um, left behind, putting us right back to where we were yesterday after the Fed meeting. So I think we definitely have good chance here to continue moving at least to previous day highs, if not higher to our resistance here, which is just about 20,000. Very, very strong move here still. We're actually extending. These candles are actually getting bigger. Mm. I would love to see us come back in here if we can. Then it might take a little something something here. Now we do have to be a little careful because there's nothing that says that we're just looking for, today's highs before we end up going back down. But I think that the market feels a little bit more bullish after yesterday than it has been in the past week and a half. So I'd still like to see us come back into this small area of imbalance here, which broke this area of imbalance. If we maintain this, then we can, we might look at taking a long out of it. This is a nice big long move though, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't maintain this and we make our way back to fill some of this that we left behind. That wouldn't be surprising to me. Um, what do we got left here? 2 minutes on this 15-minute candle. It wouldn't be surprising if we actually don't close outside of this area of imbalance either. We got 1 minute left. This is our last minute. Yeah. So if we, yeah, so we're getting our pull. If we don't close outside of this area of imbalance, then we might be getting our pullback. And in that case, I'll be looking for one of these areas to fill. But ultimately, I think we're still looking for longs today. So far, the market seems happy with what it heard yesterday. So, all right, maybe we are going to close above. Okay, we did close above this area of imbalance. I'm going to take this out just so we have a little bit of a cleaner look here because that area of imbalance is invalid now. It was filled completely and disrespected to the upside. Now all eyes are here. Let's see if we respect this area of imbalance. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. Then I'll be looking for the next one to get filled. But see, it's a nice easy pullback into our imbalance there, a little decrease in volume. So a little push there in the last few seconds. Wait it out. Wow. Okay, so This is disrespected here. I mean, slightly. Hmm. It's not the A plus setup that I want. So I think we have room to come back down maybe into this one here. It's a small one, but let's see. We are getting an increase in volume. Hmm. Oh, that's nice. We can actually extend this here, the 15-minute chart, right? That whole, actually, I'll bring this up to here. See what that looks like down here. This would probably be the zone that we would be looking to fill if we do get a pullback here. Yeah, nice strong bullish candle, break in structure. Yeah, let's see. Market in general starting to turn. Pretty much all gray, a couple reds on the heat map. Hmm. Yeah, this might be a pivot point here, but the overall is still bullish, so it'd be real stupid to take a short here right now. Maybe we'll get a double top. Hmm. So the whole NASDAQ index is basically at break even. Yeah, I don't think so. We've already extended ourselves pretty good here. I don't know that we have much more for continuation. I'd like to see us go back to previous day highs, but that doesn't mean that that has to happen. I think it could happen, but I think we need a little bit of a pullback first. It's quite the move here. So this area of imbalance is now invalid. I'm going to leave it there just because I use them for my recaps. We have one there too. I'm trying here. Hmm. Yeah, maybe a little double top here. I think we might have some room to come back a little bit. I think if we push through this area of imbalance also, that might be a good um, indicator that we are looking for a little bit of downside here. But I think still overall pretty bullish. I just think we have some of these areas to fill here before we continue up. We'll see. This trade here seems to be the one for the day here. Very strong move to the upside here. Little area of imbalance left behind that we came back into nicely. Came back out of nicely, and then boom, nice move to the upside. This would have been the one for the day. We're still testing here. We're still testing. Coffee in. Hey, we're still making progress to the upside here. All right. We're making progress, but it's slow. Tell you, the Bulls are in it today. The Bulls have had enough. They said, Bears, step aside. We're just about approaching previous day highs. So here's where, we might want to look at, um, the market giving us a little bounce back here. So we'll see what happens once we reach the previous day highs here, which is that pink line on the top. I think we're close enough now. I think we're gonna get there, at least close to it. Um, Either that or we're sitting at today's highs. Let me just take a quick look. Now we've pushed past today's highs, so I think it's reasonable to say that we're going to hit previous day highs, which is where we got our rejection yesterday. Um, I mean, this is a very, very strong move here. We've got no uh, solid pullbacks here. So at some point, we're going to need something, right? Unless the bulls are just totally gung ho today and we're moving. But I mean, you can take a look at the volume here also. I mean, the volume's been steadily decreasing as we're making this move up. So at some point, we got to get some kind of pullback, I would imagine. But I think we are at a point here where market does move up to previous day highs, and then we'll get an idea of whether we're going to continue or we're going to get a little bit of a pullback, maybe retest these highs here, and then continue to the upside. We'll see. We'll see. We got a lot of imbalances that we left behind so far. So these have to be filled at some point. We are starting to slow down here. You can see that. Smaller, smaller candles, especially the bodies of the candles are very, very small here. Da, 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 da. Yeah. I still think overall we're bullish. So even if we do get a decent pullback down into one of these lower areas of imbalance, this one in particular, this one is a strong one here. It's this one left behind on the 15-minute right off the rip this morning, New York session open. I think if we reach this area, I think we get a bounce and continue up, and that might not be today, but it's certainly possible that it could be. But the market seems to be a little bit more bullish than bearish today. It's been the opposite for quite some time. So I think that meeting yesterday had a lot to do with changing the sentiment a little bit into the bears' favor. I'm sorry, the bulls' favor. Yeah, maybe we don't even have enough to hit previous day highs. Gold is getting a little pullback too, little bit. Really, our first sign here of a stronger turnaround here. So we reached a little bit higher. We didn't get much further. So you can see the slowdown happening. And this is our first pretty good bearish sign here. It doesn't mean that that's going to sustain, but we get a spike in volume too on that little sell off here. So a nice strong bearish candle with volume. So we might be turning here to come back, fill some of this imbalance. Ooh. All right. Oh, good stretch, good stretch. Okay, so we do have this little tiny bearish imbalance right there. All right. We can use this possibly to take a short. If I am going to take any shorts today, it's just going to be into one of these imbalances and probably this one first, because if we respect here, I don't want to lose anything I gain. But right now, this is not a good place to short from. Obviously, I would like to see us come back in here if we can. If it respects here, that would kind of give us confirmation that we are moving at least onto this one. If we can get a good entry, this will give us at least a 2-to-1 here. So that's a possibility. This would be a very risky trade because you'd be trading against the trend here. We're still in an upward trend. We have not broken anything that gives us confirmation of a reversal here. So um, if we were to take this to the downside, it would be a very risky trade. It doesn't look like we're gonna get our pullback into this area here, which is fine. It's probably safer anyway. Yep, I got an increase in volume too as we're pushing down. So I would say if we disrespect this area of imbalance here, you might be able to use that as a confirmation of a reversal. This one would be even better, this one here. Yep, still increasing volume as our candles are getting bigger. The candle bodies are getting bigger to the downside. So a good sign of a continuation to the downside here. Increased volume, larger candle bodies. All right, entering our area of imbalance here now. Let's see what kind of price action we get within this imbalance. Volume is still increasing as we're moving to the downside. This area of imbalance is much stronger as this was left behind by the 15-minute chart and it aligns with the 1-minute chart. So this one would be a stronger one um, to take a possible long off of here, continuing with the day's trend, as so long as it's respected. This one here, not the greatest. Um, we can fill this and bounce out and still continue to the downside. So I'm not sure that I would take anything off of this. We're not leaving any imbalances behind on the way down here. Yeah, you can see the two major area of imbalances here and here, left behind on the 15. Um, this one here, Well, it's too early to say. Yeah. Let's see what the 1 hour or the 4 hour looks like. Yeah. I still think we got upside today. We're just gonna get our pullback first, which is okay. This might actually hmm. Yeah, its volume's starting to decrease now. So this push up not as strong as volume is decreasing. So we're gonna wait. Yeah, still more selling volume than buying volume at this point. So I don't think that this area of imbalance is going to hold, and I don't think that it's a good one to um, take a position on unless something changes with the volume here. We're still more bearish than bullish so far. We got decrease in volume with this little tiny move up, but we're increasing volume on the way down still, just the same as we did here. So I think we got some more downside. This area of imbalance is much more appealing. So if we can make it down here, then we can see if we can get a bounce here and continue to the upside. Yep. Strong move outside of this imbalance area here. Hmm. See if this can maintain here. Hmm. It's not quite convinced completely. It's because we're not getting the greatest volume there. Although this is gonna, yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit. Hmm. Well, most we can do really is wait for this to play out. I don't think, I think we have a little bit more downside here. I would really like to see price come into this zone here. Um, and, obviously we're still looking very bullish here, but I think this would be an appropriate pullback. This could have been the one. I'm just not 100% convinced. Um, so I'm going to go with my gut feeling on this one and we're going to wait. If we do end up continuing to the upside, we can then use this as, possibly an inverse. So if we break above this here, then we can possibly get in here and look for new highs. It would be a little bit risky. Probably reduce position size on that one if we were going to continue. But I would really like to see price come into this imbalance zone, uh, and then you know, based on price action, hopefully continue to take a long off of this. This would give us a way better RR, but I don't know that we're going to get that. The bulls are pretty on top of it today. This one here is missed already. If I was going to get into this one, that the close of this bullish candle would have been the entry, which would have still given us a nice, 2 to 1 to previous highs here. It would have been okay, but we're getting signs of a reversal here, so this just doesn't sit right with me. Doesn't mean that we are going to get a reversal, but it's not like an A plus plus setup here, so I'd rather sit out and wait for a better set. I think this one would be a better setup based on the 15-minute chart. If you take a look at the 15-minute chart, this is a huge area of imbalance left behind on the way up. This one even more so, but I don't know that we come all the way back here. This is actually looking I mean, decent, but this 15-minute candle here has to hold. If it does, then we might be looking for more upside here. It's a possibility. And like I said, in that case, then I'll probably use this one here as an inverse and we'll see what happens. It's looking good. Yeah, it's a strong close there. I think we might be continuing to the upside. See what we get here now. The 1 hour still looks pretty strong too. Yeah, I still would love to see us pull back here. This is almost like 50% of this move also, you know? So it'd make a little bit more sense for us to pull back into this area of imbalance, fill it. You got a 50% retracement on your upside move here, and then we can continue moving up. That would be best case scenario. That doesn't mean that that's what the market's going to give us. So, we're starting to get into that time frame too where volume in general just starts to decrease. Once we hit lunchtime, noonish, uh, we generally get a decrease in volume, not so much movement, much smaller candle bodies until maybe the afternoon session. But, I typically, if I don't get anything before 12 o'clock, then I call it a day for that day and come back tomorrow. This was the move of the day, I would say, right here. Very, very bullish signs right off the rip in the morning. Um, nice support here is a nice structure that we broke above, leaving behind an area of imbalance here. I'll go over this in my recap, um, which we came into. And once we filled this imbalance here, we had a very, very, very nice push to the upside. This was the play of the day right here. Hmm, right there. Play of the day. That's cool. actually relabel this to missed play of the day. Yeah, there we go. Can I make this bigger? Bold? There we go. Is that easier to see? There it is. Nice. Yeah, see the dump in volume here? We're getting into that time zone. Hmm. All right, we'll hang out for a couple more minutes here, see how this plays out. I think we're coming down to this imbalance here. That would make sense. Give it a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna hop off, do my recap of the day, and then probably call it a day from there. I've got things to do. Mm, it's a nice move. Little pump in volume there too. Mm, yeah, I don't know. I think we're doing some consolidating here. I don't want to get stuck in a consolidation trade. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it. I wasn't convinced before. I'm still not convinced. I think we got to come down into this area of imbalance here before we can do anything. Honestly, still very bullish. I'm not looking for shorts. I think we come down into this imbalance here. Hopefully, we bounce here and then we continue up to the upside and maybe making higher highs for the day, or heading up to previous day highs, which is here. But I think we need to pull back here first before we take anything. Um, yeah. All right. So I'm gonna call it for today. I will continue to watch for a little bit here, and I'll let you all know if I take anything in the Discord. So if you want to see what's going on after my lives, join the free Discord. Link is in the description down below. Thank you to my subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, which is about 88% of you that watch my content have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a great day.